Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss lesson 10.3, which is all about gradient and intercept. The first question here in the workbook says to you, write the gradient and y-intercept of each line. And they're giving you here the first line, y equals 10x plus 20. And the second line, also the same, a similar function, and so on. Okay, if you remember, we took that equation for the gradient, and the y-intercept is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So if I'm talking over here about question 1a, here the gradient is what? I'm going to just refer to it as g. Gradient is just 10, and the y-intercept is 20. While in question B, the gradient is negative 20. It is the coefficient of x, always the coefficient of x. So negative 20, and the y-intercept is 10. In question C over here, you're going to find that the gradient is the coefficient of x, which is positive half. So it's just 0.5. And the y-intercept is negative 2.5. Okay. So this is for question one. But what about question two? Let's do now question two. Question 2a. Here I have the gradient is 1/3, right? So the gradient is what? You're going to find here that the gradient is just 1/3. Let me write letter G, referring to the gradient, is 1/3. And the y-intercept is what? Y-intercept is going to be what? The other number, 10/3. So this is the y-intercept. Let's go to question B. So 2b. They're saying just y equals 12. Mister, y equals 12. So what is the gradient? The coefficient of x. Oh, do you have x? No, mister, I don't have x. So it is as if you're saying 0x. I don't know if I said f or x, but anyway, do you have your x? No, we don't have x. It's Mr. 0x. We don't have x at all. So the gradient is what? The gradient is 0. Gradient is 0. That's in question B, 2b. But what about the y-intercept? The y-intercept, you're going to find out that it is what? The constant, which is just 12. So in other words, if you're talking here about question 2b, in other words, it is exactly similar to y equals 0x. Think about it this way, plus 12. So what is the gradient? The gradient is 0. And what is the y-intercept? It is 12. Okay? All right, now, question C. So you go over here, question 2C. Y equals negative 30x minus 45. So the gradient is what? The gradient is negative 30. And the y-intercept is what? The y-intercept is the other number over there, the constant, which is negative 45. So now I found the gradient and the y-intercept. Moving on to question 3, they're giving you a graph and they're requesting from you to make y the subject. No, sorry, question 3 is here. This is question 4. Question 3. Here, they're giving you a graph and they're requesting from you to work out the gradient of each of these lines, line A, B, and C. So I'm going to think right now about line A. Line A, the first thing that I need to determine is whether line A is increasing or decreasing. Look at this here at the beginning of the line. It is increasing in a search, so it is positive. Good. So it is positive. Right. Let's continue over here and see about this. I need to determine two stable points. So here is one stable point, and here is another stable point. Rise overrun 1 over 2. Mister, there is a mistake that I'm going to make right now. If you say it is 1 over 2, then it is wrong. Either why, Mister, is it wrong? It is wrong because this is not 1 and this is not 2. Look at this. This is not 1. It is actually what? It is here. Let's count. This is 25. This is 30. So from here to there, it is 5 actually. So this is a 5. The 1 square is not 1. The 1 square here, its value is 5. So it is 5 over, let's see about the x. It is from 10 to 20. So it is 5 over 10, which is a half. Mister, it is the same. We said in the beginning 1 over 2. Here in this question, it is the same because the intervals, we're going here in fives. In the y, it is in fives. And in the x, it is also in fives. If the x intervals were different than the y, it will never be half. So just to play it safe and just ask yourself, this 1 square, what is the value of it? It is 5, Mister. Over, what is the value of this? It is from 10 to 20. It is 10, Mister. So it is rise over run 5 over 10, which is a half. But what about line B? Line B, it is increasing or decreasing? It is going down, so it is negative. Find the two stable points, any two stable points that you want. Okay, Mister, I'm gonna take it from here and I will go down until I reach this one here. You see it? All right, rise over run. It is 5 over the run from 0 till 15 over 15, which is negative third. Line C. Line C, look at this. It is also decreasing, so it is negative. Two stable points. Let's take the stable point. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to take it from this point until this point. I'm going to go down. I went down 10 from 20 to 10. It is 10. 10 over 5. 10 over 5, which is 2. But it's negative 2. I put here the negative sign. It is negative 2 because it is decreasing. So it is 10 over 5, but it is, which is 2, but this is decreasing. It is declining, so it is negative 2. Here is the gradient. Question 4. In question 4, they're saying it to you, here is a function x plus y equals 15. Make y the subject. Very easy, Mr. Y equals 15 minus x. Write the gradient into the y-intercept of the graph x plus y equals 15. Gradient is negative 1 because it's always the coefficient of x. Never think about it as 0. X means 1x. Negative x means negative 1x. And the y-intercept is actually 15. Where does the graph x plus y equals 15 cross the x-axis? We took this in 10.2. It crosses the x-axis when y is 0. So remove y and write 0, substitute y with 0. So x plus 0 equals 15. Mr. X equals 15. So it is 15, 0. Question 5. Here is a function, x plus 3y equals 12. Make y the subject of the function. I'm going to just write 3y equals 12 minus x. So y equals 12 minus x over 3. And now you make y the subject of the formula, or the subject of the function in this case. Write the gradient into the y-intercept of the graph. Okay, this graph. I made y the subject. That was the first step. And even if they did not request it, you should make y the subject of the function. So here, the gradient is equal to the coefficient of the x, which is negative 1, over 3. And the y-intercept is 12 over 3, which is 4. C, copy and complete this table of values for x equals x plus 3y equals 12. When x is 0, you're going to remove x and write 0. So 3y equals 12. Y is going to be 4. When y is 0, so 3 times 0 is 0. Bye-bye. So x equals 12. When x is 6, you have 6. Send it there, negative 6. So it's going to be 3y equals 6, which is y equals 2. Y is 3 when y is 3, so it's going to be 9, send it to the other side, negative 9, so it's going to be x is going to be also 3. Okay? But draw a graph of x plus 3y. Right. I'm going to take this question to another page where I can draw the graph. We said 412 to 3, 412 to 3. Here we go. We said this is 4, 12, 4, 3. 412, 43, well, 412, 23. I can't remember. Okay, let's do the 6 again. The 6, the x, send it to the other side, is going to be 3y equals 6. So y equals 2. So this is a 2. Sorry, guys, getting old. So this is a 2. When x is 0, y is 4. So 0, 4. You're going to plot it over here. When x is 12, I'm going to need to change my graph because it's not going to be enough. I will need to change the graph and draw it this way here. And then I guess that's it. Show the grid. Yes. Get smaller. Yes. Now the graph is ready. When x is 0, y is 4. So 0, 4. Here you go. And here, when x is 12, y is 0. So 12, 0. When x is 6, y is 2. When x is 6, y is 2. When x is 3, y is 3. So x is 3, y is 3. Mister, without even graphing it, I know that it's going to be a straight line because it's a linear function. How did I know? X is to the power of 1. So it is a linear function. So I'm going to connect the points this way until the 12. That's it. Now, use your graph to check your answers to part B. Part B, I said that the gradient is negative 1 over 3. I'm going to do rise over run. Oh, mister, it is declining. So the gradient is, yes, negative. Declining, going down by 1, then 3. So it is 1 over 3. So negative 1 over 3. That's the gradient. Yes, I got it right. I'm checking my answer right now. Y-intercept is 4. Oh, it crossed to the y-axis at 4. Yes, this is correct. Y-intercept is at 4. Good. So now I drew the graph and I used my graph to check my answers to part B. But question 6. Show that 20 and 2.5 is on the line. This is also from lesson 10.2. So show that 20 and 2.5 is on the line. So what am I going to do? I'm going to substitute x with 20 and I will see if y will be really 2.5 or not. So question A, 4y equals x minus 10. But when x is 20, so 4y equals 20 minus 10. So y equals 4y equals 10. This leads us to y equals 10 over 4. 10 over 4 is what? You're going to find that 10 divided by 4 is going to give you 2.5. So that's how you show that it is on the line. I'm going to have the point 22.5 on the line was, when x is 20, y is 2.5. That's question A. Question B, make y the subject. So it's just y equals x minus 10 over 4. I'm going to send the 4 to the other side. So x minus 10 over 4. Write the gradient into the y-intercept of the line. I'm going to change the color. The gradient is the coefficient of x. It is 1. Well, that's the gradient. Gradient. It is 1 over 4. Double y-intercept. Y-intercept is the other number, negative 10 over 4. Good. Or you can write it as a decimal, negative 2.5. Or you can write it as a mixed number, negative 2.5. Okay? Let's continue. Here is the equation of a line, 3x plus 5y equals 10. Choose the correct answer to the following questions. What is the gradient? The gradient of this, I cannot do it right away. I have to make y the subject. So I'm going to say 5y equals 10 minus 3x. So y equals 10 minus 3x over 5. The gradient is the coefficient of the x, which is negative 3. Yes, but negative 3 over 5, which is this one. What is the y-intercept? It is 10 over 5, which is 2. So both are C. Match each curve A to D to the correct gradient I to IV. So match A, the gray section, the gray boxes, to the white boxes. Right. The white boxes are actually the gradients they set. So 2x plus y equals 8. You must make y the subject. Making y the subject in question A, I'm going to just rewrite them, okay? So box A is going to be what? Y equals 8 minus 2x. And B is going to be what? 2 is going to be 4y equals 8 minus 2x. Yeah, and y equals 8 minus 2x over 4. And about C here, you're going to say, send the negative 2x to the other side. So it is going to be y equals 8 plus 2x. And D, which is the last one, you're going to say that y equals, this is going to go there plus, so 8 plus x over 2. Now let's find the gradient. The gradient of A is just negative 2. So A is negative 2. A is IV. IV. The gradient of B is negative 2 over 4, which is negative half. II. The gradient of C is 2. So where's 2? It's here, triple I. The gradient of D, you're going to find that it is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2, which is I. Find the gradient and the y-intercept of each line. Same thing exactly. Make y the subject, and then you do what? Then you find the gradient and the y-intercept. Let's do this quickly. I'm going to just make this section for each one of them. Let's do this for A. This for B. And the last one is for C. Let's do it. All right, here. I'm going to write this as a question with the color, with the red color. 2x plus 10y equals 20. And then I got 10x plus 4y equals 20. And then I got 25x plus 25y equals 10. This is question 9. Let's answer it. First, I need to make y the subject. So this is going to be 10y equals 20 minus 2x. Then y equals 20 minus 2x over 10. The gradient is what? The gradient equals negative 2 over 10, which is negative fifth, the simplest form. Here, for y equals, oh, sorry, I didn't get the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 20 over 10, which is just 2. The next question for y equals 20 minus 10x. So y equals 20 minus 10x over 4. Gradient equals negative 10 over 4, which is what? Simplifying, you're going to find negative 5 over 2. You can make it into a mixed number, or you make it as a decimal. Both are going to be fine. The y-intercept is 20 over 4, which is 5. Here is the y-intercept. Here is the gradient. Let's do this one. 25y equals 10 minus 25x. So y equals 10 minus 25x over 25. So the gradient is negative 25 over 25, which is negative 1. And the y-intercept is 10 but over 25. Simplifying, divided by 5 is going to give you exactly 2 over 5. Now I made y the subject, and I made also the x, I found the gradient, and I found the y-intercept. Question 10, which is the last question. The equation of a linear graph is 4y minus 2x plus 8 equals 20. Show that negative 6, 0 is on the line. I'm going to remove a Mr. Negative. I'm going to write over here. That's question A. I would write 4y minus 2x plus 8. I will substitute x with negative 6 and the y with a 0. And I will see if the answer will be 20 or not. So y is 0, so 4 times 0 is just 0, minus negative 2, or let's say now, negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12, plus 8. It is going to give me 20, I must say. That's how we show it. That's how we show that this point is 1. Right. Question B. Show that 4, 5 is on the line. The same thing exactly. I'm going to remove 4 y and write 5 and remove x and write 4. So 4 times 5 is 20. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 plus 8 equals, you're going to find this 12, and 12 plus 8 is going to be 20 as well. This is question B. Question C. Make y the subject. No problem. Let's answer question C here. Here's question C. I'm going to move the negative 2x and the positive 8 to the other side. So it is going to be 4y equals 2x is positive minus 8 plus 20. Okay, the 20 didn't move. That's why I'm going to keep the same sign. The 20, I didn't move it at all. So I'm going to send right now the 4, the coefficient of the y, to the other side, but it's going to be division. So I'm going to say y equals 2x. Negative 8 plus 20, you can simplify that. You can just add them to each other. So negative 8 plus 20 is positive 12 over 4. That's it. Now I made y the subject of the function, or the subject of the equation. Question D. Let's answer now here. Question D. Write the gradient and the y-intercept of the line. I made y the subject. I can easily right now find the gradient. Gradient is equal to, the coefficient of x is 2, so 2 over 4, which is half. And the y-intercept is 12 over 4, which is 3. That's it. Thank you so much, and see you in another video.